Hello, my name is Amina and I'm your decision-making specialist, and today is day 158, August 30th, 2020, and we are still all somewhere, wherever we are, in the midst of COVID-19. And someplace else that we all are, especially right here and now in the United States, is we are in the middle of another pandemic, another virus. This one is systemic to our country, to our history, and will be in some way or another to our future. And that pandemic is injustice, socially, financially, emotionally, legally, and in every sense of well-being that all of us want for ourselves. I have a young client that I've been with. We've been together since he was just turning 17. He is now 27. That's a lot of years, a lot of together, a lot of him growing and becoming who he is and becoming who he wants to be. And we had our phone session yesterday, and he's really huge, good basketball player, has been forever from what I can tell. And we were talking about the NBA and the stand that the athletes were taking and how the other sports were joining in and just saying that this has got to be enough. All of these years, in some form, there has been this division. You know, we talk about we're all in this together. In what way are we all in this together? Are we all in this together in terms of we're all separate? I was listening to a podcast and it's called Planet Money. I really like it because it talks about finance and business, and it gives the backstory of people and companies within the sphere of money. And he was talking about a man and heard interviews, and his name is Tom Burrell. And he, in 1961, wanted to go to this financial advertising company. Correct myself, it was an ad marketing company. And do you know what he said in 1961? That he wanted his foot in the door and he wanted a position in the mailroom so that he could learn and move his way up. And he said that having a Black person in that company was so new and so dramatic that the CEO of the company came back from Florida from his holidays to join with the other decision makers to decide if they could take a risk of hiring Mr. Burrell in the mailroom. To their advantage, they said yes, because Tom Burrell went on and absolutely renovated marketing and advertising by inclusion, by having Black people in the consumer's eye. They make money, they spend money, and yet all the marketing, all the photographs, all the script and content showed white people. And then there was a shift, and so they would have the same basic format for their ads, and one time they would have white family in it, next time they would have a Black family in it. And finally, Tom Burrell made his statement. He stood in his circle boldly and bravely, and he said, you know what? That isn't going to work, because assuming that Black people are white people in dark skin is not how it is. It isn't the Black people. It is individuals, and they have a culture. All of us have a culture. We come from a family. We come from certain areas. We have certain habits. We have certain preferences. We have certain lifestyles. And within that, there are some generalities. So I'm offering that if you want to be really in this, in a together way, how about you remember that you cannot assume that your life is the same as anyone's life, no matter what. Even if you would write a list of everything you've done and seen, everything somebody else has done and seen, guess what? In the middle will be an entirely different experience. It will be an entirely different set of memories. It will be an entirely different set of decisions. So how about we are all in this together, in that we are all different. And the togetherness is that we take far more than an eyelash of listening to find out what it is like in the other person. Remembering that we cannot know because we have not been there. We can wear their shoes and still not have experienced what they experience. So we want to know what they have experienced, from what they've done, where they've been, who they are, who they want to be, what their legacy is, what their story is. And the reason that I'm saying this is because there are so many people protesting and so many people that are actually joining the protest, and they really are antagonizing and interfering with the message that the people have. And that young man that I spoke with, when I talked with him and I listened, he told me something that I want to share with you, and that is this 27-year-old man, young man, who is not pessimistic. He is not a naysayer. He is always a person of hope and finding a way and having resilience. And what I heard him say in our conversation is, I don't think it matters. I don't really truly believe that anything will ever change. So I am asking on his behalf that you look around and find some ways that you can help make a change. And the first step is to remember we are not like somebody else. We are like ourselves. And somebody else is not like us, just in a different skin. So we can find a way to honor and respect them and ourselves. And let's prove that young man wrong. Let's show him the world can be different. Give it a whirl. Remember, change begins with something teeny tiny, and it always begins inside of our mind. How can I do this differently? How can I have new thoughts? How can I have new feelings? All right. Thanks for coming. Click like if it stimulated anything in your mind that you really, really want to do differently. And come back. I will be here. Take care. Bye for now.